still in school. He had not yet graduated, and yet they gave him employment. And we have thousands, millions of people who have graduated for years, no job. Yet you employ somebody who is still in school. We've seen cases where somebody will be employed with school sat into level 12. Where does that happen? Where and okay, one of our colleagues who became a senior staff union, who wanted to do things normally, who wanted to do things properly. The guy was up and doing, helping a lot of people. Before you know it, he was completely retired before his time. So this system produced the worst of us. You see that people who has good hearts cannot, openly do what they want to do, because they know if they try to do it, they'll be pushed aside. Just like a lady told me, a good friend of mine who was trained by Patutomi. She became the manager of a bank. Now, when she resumed office, she noticed that they've been hiring a generator, and there's a big plant there. So she made an inquiry. She now realized that the plant has a little fault. She called headquarters. She told them about it, and they gave her permission to fix the plant. The moment she fixed it, that was what led to a sack. Till today, she says, see this. Each time I see her, I feel pity for her. This was a bank manager. I mean, somebody you like to associate with. Now she's selling CDs. You can see how. Now tell me, if this man comes in now, if God forbid Tinubu comes in, what will be left of this country? Now, when it comes to
I'm sorry, Mr. Emmanuel. I'm sorry, this is a personal question. How old are you?
I'm 45.
So a 45 years old man crying like this, and then we still see people who come on air to counter us that Nigeria is fine for a drug baron to take over Nigeria. I don't know if you guys have a heart, though. I don't know. Go ahead, Mr. Emmanuel. Go ahead.
I want to tell you how I lost my respect for a particular person. There was a time he said God told him that redeem will see the rapture. I analyzed that word, and I was like, Almighty God, just like as a father, I cannot prefer one of my child above others because I know the implication. Now, for you to say God told you that this particular church will see the rapture, so does that mean that Christ Embassy winners, deeper life, and the rest will not see the rapture? So after analyzing that particular word with several others, I just know that all these things, what these guys are doing. I thank God for Naija Watch. Why I'm saying this is because majority of my, like what you guys do, we don't attack tribe, but I noticed that some of my friends who are from this particular region, they always say before the election they were against Tinubu squarely, openly. But after the election, I kept seeing some of them saying, well, maybe God will use him, that God can still use him. I started seeing a change from their conversation. But I thank God that over here, there's been this consistency. Even our Yoruba guys here, I see that they maintain their cool. They don't speak with two mouths, which I thank God for, because a lot of people, millions all over Nigeria are still hooking up, and they are getting the truth from here. So I'm appealing with you guys to please continue this. I want to, because I just have that hope, because for me, I can't imagine Tinubu becoming the next president of Nigeria. I mean, how? It's just like we always say, it's like from fry pan to fire. What will happen to us? What happened to we down here? What can be worse than hellfire? Because already we are in hell. So if you take us from hell, where are you taking us to? So please, before, like for years, I stopped praying praying for Nigeria. But the moment I saw Peter Obi for the first time, I find myself every day, with my family, we will gather, we will pray for the country just because of this man that, that I would say God presented him to us. And like my friends always say that this is Nigeria's last chance, Nigeria's last hope. And yet, a lot of people want to allow devil to use them to truncate the plan that God has for us. And they will not succeed. They won't succeed by God's grace. Look at how we are suffering. We are trying to make ends meet. Things are expensive. No road. Even the car some of us are using because of bad roads. You see, just day before yesterday, they were fishing a road, put a very deep hole there. If it was in the foreign countries, you see barricade, you see tape lines or so to let people know that there's a ditch there. Lo and behold, by 11, a car just went inside and right deep inside the hole. And the next 2 days, I saw some road safety men there. I told them, I said, look, you guys were supposed to put a barricade that if that guy didn't make it, his blood would be on their hands. How can you put on a major road, when the car nosedive inside, it was just the back of the car you will see outside. That's to tell the impact. I just hope that the guys survive. This is what we face here every day. This is our this is our experience.
Thank you, my
so
brother.
we are only praying. We are only believing God and Mr. Elvis and all people who have been contributing. I want to say a big thank you for the work you guys are doing. And please don't stop. Keep doing this, because you are rekindling our hope. Each day we see more reason to live, because each time we hear these conversations, it gives us hope, it gives us courage, and it makes us believe that somebody without hope, you know what that means? That despair, hopelessness. No, it's not something we would like to relate with. But getting this hope we get from here every day, it keeps us moving. And by the grace of God, I want to believe that we'll get there.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you, Mr. Emmanuel. May God bless you. I'm going to save your number.
Please tell him to join the WhatsApp group. Tell him to invite his friends.
Yes, I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. Okay?
Thank you.
I'm in the WhatsApp group, sir.
Oh, wonderful. He's there.
Yes, and I have a lot to say that cannot be said in public.
Okay, no problem. We'll discuss that.
Great guy.
All right, sir.
God bless you. Yeah.
So Tony, there here, Tony Wahala.
Wow.
with this now, Mr. Elvis, that means
Tony there.
American
Tony trouble.
So Tony, don't sneak in. Tony Wahala.
American version tonight. American version.
What you have to wake somebody they cry? I just see people they cry. I have to wake up.
I could not end
Tony Wahala
anymore because
Wahala.
Because of this guy, Mr. Emmanuel, I cannot just say good night. Yeah, I don't have that heart.
It's true.
I don't have that heart. So let's talk about the
Tony.
about the
yeah, I was even hoping that I know we may not be able to ask him some question, but I was going to ask him some question, but
let's talk about this topic on Tinubu allegedly jetted out of Nigeria to France. It is now never. And let also expatiate on what Mr. Emmanuel gave to us. For a 45 years old man to be crying like that on a national TV is disheartening, is heartbroken. This is so disturbing. Nigeria, God, when will all this end, God?
It will end.
Wow. Sometimes it's not a joke, this thing, this is
Mr. This is why we are talking about competence. This is why we are talking about competence. See, UK Prime Minister. It's not even a UK. Is
citizen. It's an Indian.
Yeah, but the guy is already saying that he wants to work with Tinubu now.
Forget.
No, let's not see everything.
We are just talking about competence. We are just talking about competence. We are not talking about working with Tinubu. We are talking about competence.
If he's competent, if he's competent and has compassion, he should not say he wants to work with Tinubu. He should never say that.
Make una let Oga analyze further because you know you have to start from the sectioner that prevented them from
my brother
getting a job.
That guy is working to develop.
He cannot get a job because he was competent, but he cannot get an office to work.
It's not
That's
that's
hypocrisy.
That guy is working to develop their country.
It's a competence. What competence is that?
My brother, whatever thing he's doing it to develop UK. Whatever that guy is doing to develop UK. No, for me, I will not call him hypocrisy. He's doing it to develop UK. Why our leaders are not developing our country? They are being developed other countries. That's why they vote him there. And that's why we want Peter Obi. That's why we want Peter Obi. Make everybody face their country. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
make everybody face their country, build your country. That is what we are clamoring for, Peter Obi.
Okay, now I
will not call that. I will not call that. Not be them send us, maybe they corrupt.
Okay, but listen now.
It's our own problem.
Okay, listen now. Dele Farotimi came to the United States. Whatever he said it on the soil of United States. Dele Farotimi said everything that he said on the soil of United States. There are things that I personally was scared for him. But that guy stood on courage. He stood on truthfulness. He stood on righteousness.
Always.
That is a man for the nation.
Exactly.
Because
but I know, but you know, whatever thing that is also
celebrating people that are celebrating criminals.
It cost America. It cost America on their soil. It cost them on their soil. It cost America on their soil.
America is a democracy. There's human rights. There's freedom of speech in America now. There's freedom of speech. So they know. Even they will listen to him because he makes sense.
I'm just saying, Dr. CM, that that guy was not afraid of anything. He was not afraid.
Sorry, sir. If I may ask you, do you expect him to be supporting your country? You don't. So if you cannot do your home, you don't expect us to do it. So if our own leaders, if our leaders.
Which your leader? Is he not the one that congratulated Tinubu?
You don't have no leader in Nigeria. You don't have no leader. You only have rulers. And you have rulers. You have wicked men.
What I mean is that if our leader.
What is that?
You don't have leaders in Nigeria. No leaders in Nigeria. No leaders in Nigeria.
What I'm saying is that UK has given that guy everything. He was born, sir. I quite agree. What I'm saying is that UK has given that guy everything. So why won't he give them back? The same thing. Nigeria has given this thief, this our so-called leader thief. Most of them go free school. They are dwell on scholarship like this man. So they are dwell on scholarship. So they are not even ready to give us back. So to me, I just see those Western ones, and they are making business to develop where they are staying. Not that I'm supporting the evil that they are causing, but we should blame ourselves first. That's what I'm saying.
Blame ourselves,
you understand? That's why we want Peter Obi to be there. Yeah.
All right.
We should not blame them.
Let's listen. Let's recapitulate on what Farotimi.
That's how you're very correct. You shouldn't blame them. Are we going to blame Amazon for selling Paco for 1999, something we have in our country? It's our fault.
Exactly.
It's true. Of course, it's our fault. We all agree.
And that's why that take advantage of you. It is you that needs to fix your home. If the house is divided, the house cannot be divided among itself.
Do you know,
Mr. Gospel?
Do you know even that? I will like a situation where if P2B gets in, he will go and exploit other country for our own benefit. That is part of leadership. Yes. Say P2B will go and exploit one other country and get their resources to develop Nigeria. Yes, that is leadership. That is what they call politics, international politics. Why don't we do it?
Another country to go. How much is he going to spend over there? And they say he built Lagos. Built Lagos. He didn't build the
hospital.
Madam Victoria. Adéwálé tó pè níjọ́ Saturday, ó tún pè lẹ́ni. Now, wọ́n bí pé Tinubu ó kọ́ Èkó. Èkó tó kọ́ sí kò lè dúró mẹ́ láti gba treatment o.
No.
Ó ti lọ sí France sí. Adéwálé, you are hearing now. Tinubu, that you said build Lagos. He came back from France. Now he's back to France. You and your family are back there in Lagos.
No,
and you said Nigeria is
no,
Adéwálé that opportunity for France. So. And they
like
said he built Lagos. He built Lagos.
Man. Like that. They say the battery where we buy
which
for
Lagos
France
that you
don't
use
run
4
down.
hours to go to work, 3 hours to come back.
You
go to work, you use 4 hours inside traffic. That Adéwálé now, if you check him now, he's sleeping in that
10 hours. He's 10 hours in traffic.
That's supposed to be one of the elite neighborhood or the good neighborhood. There was a day Ojo Kamimo Ikeja. That was the day I knew there was no drainage in Ikeja. By High Court Ikeja. If it rained, it will be lifting all the houses like this. No single drainage in Ikeja. And Tinubu voted in Alausa. That means that is his neighborhood or something like that. I don't know. But he voted in Alausa. At Ikeja, there is no drainage. Life and direct, I'm telling you, is what I experienced. 4 hours we were in the rain. People.
Jackie Soro, my sister.
What about the day he's going to airport?
Hold on. You guys are avoiding
the day he was going to airport. All road was
hold on, please, sir. You guys have avoided the fundamental question that the guy raised. The guy did say that he was not here to expose many things, how he feel. He said that particular session that decides everything is the root causes of everything. That he went to school, no job. You know what I'm saying? So right on, people. Look, when I address that issue because when I talk now, I'll say and they go against people.
Mr. Tony, let's not toil on that because
that is what he said. That is what he told us.
Hold on.
That he need to have friends for that particular session. And if Obi comes in now, how is he going to carry out all these lofty plans?
Hold on, sir. The guy said something when he came here. He said what you said, but he also appreciated the fact that this channel is not tribalistic.
Yes.
I understand where you are coming from. I understand it quite well. Yes. What I want us to understand is that the evil ones among us are the ones causing this problem. And those are the ones that we should go after.
Yes.
The evil ones among us, they are the ones causing this problem. And those are the ones that we Nigerians should go after and bring them down.
Yeah. Okay, don't forget, say, na El-Rufai, they are coming to they are the one that brought Tinubu in. El-Rufai, Lalong, and all these northern people. So what, so definitely, look at people that are coming. Fashola for what? No new names? All these Bajabi Amila, all of them. What kind of government is that? That's why that I'm not supporting you guys. I'm supporting you guys since yesterday. You saw me? They let people to register. They let people to pick their PVC. What the hell? They don't want to upload electronically. So I said, okay, now I'll switch side. I'll switch side. Not that so, in European Union, you hear different names. Mogherini, the other name. In 2 years, another names. What the hell is Fashola coming to do in government? What the hell is Bajami Ambila? All this El-Rufai?
Imagine, Mr. Tony, do you know that Fashola cannot account for 6 trillion naira?
I know. Bomo, I know. That's why I'm saying that it's very difficult. And then you said constitution. Let's break the country up peacefully without a war. Thank you.
Protect your vehicle from spills and messes with laser magic floor runners.
Oh, who's playing something in their house now? Please. Who is this?
Easy. Yes. So it's very bad. You cannot get a passport. You cannot export cars any longer. You cannot export. You cannot export. I have many vehicles that are just waiting away here. They said that if you want to export to Nigeria, only a jack and a spare tire. in a trucks, so for that matter, trucks that are sealed up like containers. How can our people get something to, hell, I beg you, who are in charge? Custom, not them. Military, not them. Immigration, not them. This is not going to listen to how I want to survive.
So let me tell you something. I grew up in Lagos, and all my friends, they are
Yorubas. I will go start again.
This session is talk and go home. So anybody wait tired to talk, go home, go and sleep. So it doesn't affect me. So I'm not moderating it. We all are moderating it together.
Okay, I just want me to go sleep today. You never tire.
So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes when they want to bring tribalism about somebody, they might grow up with Yoruba people, and most of them are so loving people. So when somebody is bring, maybe because of the people he dwell with. So sometimes when somebody want to bring tribalism, something like this, we need to debunk it, because instead, if we don't, it will be expanding and lead to hatred. You understand? So this is what I want us to do as obedient family. We don't want to be dwelling on all this tribalism.
Our factor representatives in the Senate not fighting for us. They will just collect money. Look at Akpabio. He got 80 billion. He stole. Nobody will touch him because he supports one particular party. I mean, what the hell? Jumping from one party to a party, and then he was holding ticket for the senator and presidency at the same time.
It's my ex-government is a criminal.
Yeah, you know now. So it's just a joke. The system is just a joke. We just hope that Obi can be able to get this now, because there's a good chance for Obi to get it directly if they don't want to say, okay, let us give to the second run-up or runners-up or whatever. They have their game now. I will show people, Idoma, Fulani, TV. Now that's our problem. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tony, please. Edo people is also our problem. In case you are not aware.
Yes,
Oshomole is there.
Yeah,
they are people is our problem.
I know.
Every tribe in Nigeria is our problem. Please stop being focusing on these people. Don't do this rubbish here.
Bad eggs. We have
okay.
Please, I don't like it. I told you before. Do you know how many killers you have in Edo State in the name of land grabbing? How many of them have you sorted out? Please. I don't like people that is biased.
They don't get job now. They don't get job. Organizer watch. They don't get job.
It doesn't matter. So because they don't get job, maybe they keep people. They go abi.
No. For example, now you take something from Edo State, you take and go to Europe. The money will come.
Forget.
Take and repair Edo State.
Those kind of conversation here. I don't like it.
All right, sir.
I told you before.
Now easy. Okay, no wahala today now. No wahala, sir. Thank you.
What are we saying?
Yes.
Is James Ibori, is he a northerner that stole money that was jailed in
wicked that killed people?
He's wicked that betrayed everybody. Is he a northerner?
MC Oluomo.
Their master.
Ekoromadu that they just jailed now. Is he a northerner?
Yes, indirectly.
MC Oluomo, is he a northerner?
He's Oshomole. Oshomole that is Oshomole, is he a northerner?
Aliyu Adamu,
but be fair. Don't be focusing on one specific tribe, and at the end of the day, you don't talk about
Niger Watch.
It's wrong.
Niger Watch.
Hello, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will hope that we'll focus we major on the major instead of majoring on the minor. Our so-called leaders, and I say so-called in quotes, I'm 72 years old. I marched in the Nigerian Independence Day in Lagos. When Elizabeth came down, I remember that vividly. And like I've told you guys before, I went to school in Ibadan. What I'm saying is that our leaders have used the different tribes and ethnic groups that we have in Nigeria to literally divide up Nigeria. And that's the problem that we have today. So if we as obedient and young people and old people are going to fight this thing, we have to fight it in unity. If we start talking about the same thing they are talking about, then they've really defeated us in what is going on. I was listening to the young boy, the young guy that called from Nigeria. He's the same age as my son. The same age. I was listening to him and crying at the same time because I didn't know in my young years, our parents used to pray that we will be better than them. Now, our parents are literally praying by default that they will be better than us. And people ask me, how is that? I said, well, you can be praying, but your body language is saying something else. Because if you are praying that your child be better than you, but you are taking all resources because you have the opportunity to do that, and then putting it on your child only, that prayer is useless. Because you are not really praying for the young people to be better than you. Most of our leaders in the 1960s were in their 30s. All of them, including the military guys. They were in their 30s. Now we have leaders that are in their 80s. Some of them are at my age. I retired 5 years ago. In the US, I could walk till I'm 100, but no, I retired 5 years ago. The reason is because my kids has to be better than me. And if what we need to do, or what we've been doing, is to focus on the major thing. The major thing is what is going on in the tribunal now. That's the major thing. God is working through all of them. I know that. But if you notice, everything that we've read in the Bible and even in the Quran, because people always tell me the Muslim, the Muslim, the Muslim. Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country. United Arab Emirates is a Muslim country. Dubai is a Muslim country. Nigeria paid salaries for Dubai for 2 years. For 2 years. Dubai was a desert. In fact, it was the poorest country in that hemisphere. Today, Nigeria is rushing to Dubai. The reason is because why did it become one of the best countries that you look at? It was a 35-year-old boy. I call him a boy. That they elected, and the guy said, I am going to turn Dubai into the oasis of the world. And they turned the whole desert into an agricultural land. And here we are in Nigeria, we have acres and acres of agricultural land, but we can't feed our people because we have armed robbers calling themselves leaders. And I call them armed robbers because that's what they are. You see, that's what they are. They are not better than the armed robbers we see on the street. In fact, they are worse than them. You see, so let's focus on that. Let's leave, because like I said before, this young man that spoke, I could not, I just got myself together in order to call back in because I was so distraught with what is going on. You see, I tell friends of mine, I'm not afraid to go to Nigeria. I'm not. I go to Nigeria almost 3 times in a year. I'm not afraid. Nigeria is my country. And one of the things I always tell some of my age groups and professional colleagues is that the problem is that people that were supposed to work on Nigeria all ran away. And the reason is because the barracudas, the armed robbers, decided to do things, so we are so afraid, so we run out. So what do? They got the position, changed the constitution, put all kinds of rules all over the whole place. So you can't import anything, you can't export anything, you can't build anything, you can't manufacture anything. You see, like I told some on Moye's thing, I went to America when exchange rate was 20 kobo to $1.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I just have a question. So, sorry, my name is Rita. I'm just want to ask you a question. Will you say now, with what you're saying so far, would you say that your generation failed us?
Yes, they did. Yeah. I've been telling them that. That's why I said what happened to our own generation is we left Nigeria. We said, oh, we're going to go to America and study, and then we'll come back. Now, guess what they did? They changed the rules. And once they changed the rules, they put their own people in. So now you come back, they frustrate you. They tell you to go and do youth corps, then you do youth corps for 1 year, and then you come out. There's no job. There's no job for you because you have to know somebody to give you a job. So out of that frustration, you leave and go back again. So now, by the time we were prepared to start going back, some of us are in our 60s, 70s. So we've wasted our productive year in a foreign land. You see, and I don't want my children to go through that. I tell my children that I don't want you guys to go through that. I will fight for it. You see, I will fight for it. I fought during the Civil War. So if fighting is not a new thing to me. The problem is we have to fight. This time we have to use brain and technology to fight. They were not going to allow these people to take over anything. You see? Tinubu as a person is a human being. But he has nothing to give to Nigeria. He has nothing. He has riches without enterprise. A lot of them have riches without enterprise. None. They are billionaires, but there's nothing. They have no manufacturing company, nothing to build an enterprise. And I remember telling some of my colleagues when they were talking about changing money, I told them, I said, this is a distraction. This is a distraction. Forget about what APC is doing. This is a distraction to collect all the money and then suffer people. So people will not have money to go anywhere. And if you don't have money, you can move. And then the day of the voting, they say, oh, we don't want any car to move around. So now your polling unit is like 6-7 miles away. And how do people walk to that? So let's just focus on that. And I keep telling them, I said, we have failed these young people. So let's stop talking nonsense. You see, let's stop talking nonsense. I came to Nigeria before the election. And like I told some of you, we're part of the group that they call Diaspora for Good Governance. And we're raising money to start looking for young people we're going to put in positions. Some of the ones we sponsored, some of the guys you see in the Senate and the ones in the House of Assembly. In fact, most of them were sponsored directly by us in everything that they bought and so on. And we're still meeting. We're not going to just sit down and sleep. You see, so that's one of the reasons I'm trying to encourage you guys. Don't get distracted. All these KMO and whatever them is just distraction. And that's why I like Obi is somebody I've known for years. You see?
I've got a question for you, sir. Ogasa.
Yeah.
Please, sir. So what do you think about the current structure of Nigeria system, especially the constitution, sir?
Well, let me tell you one thing. The constitution is not, we've been fighting for the constitution for a long time. But let me tell you one thing, which Obi told us when he came to the United States. He said, first of all, you have to get land before you get the mat that you are going to sleep on. if you get the mat and don't have the land, where are you going to be sleeping on? Now, even though he said it that way, most of us knew exactly what he was talking about. What he was talking about is when you get the power, then you can be able to start putting some of those changes in there. You see, you will start putting some of those changes. In fact, in the Constitution, there are some of the changes that they've made, which President Buhari signed. I don't know how many of you know what they call exclusive lists.
We all do. We all do.
Yeah, that belongs to the federal government. That
That's
they
what is
can do,
killing
they can do
Nigeria.
and not do. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So they've removed that. So there are so many other things they need to know. All of us in the diaspora, none of us can vote. None, zero, can vote. But yet, from the diaspora, we send over $30 billion every year into Nigeria.
More than what
Excuse me,
Nigeria
sir.
earns from crude oil.
Yeah.
Mr. Lewis, I'm
Mhm.
very happy you made a comment about the question, or rather the answer you gave Mr. Tony, because many people, some people who come here and some people who are still, I will use this word respectfully, still stuck in their ideology of separating or dividing Nigeria. They just say it seems childish when you say that, because what you just said, you need to have the authority, the power to be in Aso Rock to make these changes. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So I'm very happy that a man like you is telling people that agitating for all sorts of things and talking about dividing the country or separating the country. It can't just happen like magic. We need Peter the Rock Obi as president first before these changes could be at least addressed. And if it needs to change, it will change. Thank you very
Okay.
much, sir. I just want to say
Okay.
I really appreciate
Okay.
you, sir, for saying
Let
that.
me say that I did understand the question, that the answer that he gave me, that about the exclusive list. They could, the exclusive list, is still there.
I'm not talking about the
No,
exclusive
hold on,
list, Mr.
please, hold
Tony.
on, please,
No,
please,
That's
please.
not what I'm
I
talking
said,
about.
No, hold on. The
I said
exclusive list, it's
if
like,
you
hold
look
on, sir.
at the exclusive list
Make a
has
answer,
been
make a
Hey,
answer
Tony,
for our
let
beg.
him explain now. You can't just be telling
the
everybody to hold
exclusive
on.
list
Let
has
him
been
explain.
amended.
Okay.
Do you know why the railway line went to Niger and there's no railway line in the south entirely? Forget about everything that they did. It's because railway is part of that exclusive list. The state cannot do that. The Ports Authority is part of the exclusive list. That's why the states cannot build ports. The federal government does.
Even power
Even
generation.
power.
Until
Now, power,
and the refinery.
Obafemi cannot say he will build Gelegele now. Now we know this.
No,
This is how they lie
madam,
to people.
let me respond now.
So
Madam, let me respond.
now
Madam,
you
let me
look at
respond to
power.
that.
Power has been removed from the exclusive list.
Yeah, are we now using Oshomo power now for Benin people now?
Benin can now use it.
Why?
The governor, if they don't do that, then the governor of Edo State is the problem.
Yeah, then what about the oil
God
that they said
bless you,
that they lack
Lewis. God
crude?
bless you.
That they lack
I'm
crude.
just giving
No,
you
hold
things
on.
You see,
Hold on,
let
sir.
me give you for example.
Okay.
You see, sometimes we blame federal government for everything. In the Southeast, I told them in the Southeast, because if you look at the budget, every oil producing state gets 13% derivation of the oil revenue. And then they get what they call the constituency budget. That's in billions of dollars. Then they'll get the one they call security votes. That's in billions of dollars. I don't know how many of you remember during Obasanjo years, Ngozi Iweala was the finance minister. She published all the budgets and allocations to the states. So now we have state governors that are misappropriating money. And then you look at things like teacher salary. That salary is a statutory allocations from the federal government. It's a line item thing in the budget. But what does the state governors do? They take that money and prioritize it to their own personal priorities. And then they tell you we don't have money to pay salary. I remember I fought it in the Southeast because I worked in the government before I left for the United States. I worked in the government from 1971 till 79. So I know what I was talking about. And I remember the Speaker of our House of Assembly said, there's nothing like statutory allocation. I said, bring the budget out. Let me show you where it is. So don't tell me you have no money to pay employees. That's a lie. Because it's a line item. You cannot take that money and use it for something else. So when we're fighting the
Okay, we lost Mr. Louis. Okay,
No, he will come back.
Mr.
He will
Tony,
come
you
back.
wanted to say something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So
Quiet.
I was saying that
Hello?
all those, those. Okay, let me hold on for him.
Hello?
Yes, yeah. We are with you. We are with you.
So we need to focus. That's what I'm saying. We need to focus and get the mandate first. Once we get the mandate, then we start looking at, okay, who are the people that are going to use President Peter Obi to be able to do what we're talking about now. But if we don't get the mandate, and we're talking about all these things we're going to do, you can't do that. If Tinubu gets in, God forbid, I mean, you've already seen all his cabinet members. You've already seen the transition team. They are all the same birds of the same feather. What they just do is, it's like what I used to tell people, PDP and APC, there's no difference. It's like getting a coin, and they are just part of the same coin. And people say, no, they are not the same. I say, no, they are the same. Because it was people that left PDP and the AD that formed the APC. Those are the two groups that formed the APC. So you can't expect anything good from them. So the fight here is to get that mandate. And I'm really glad with what is going on in the courts, because I'm calling Abuja to talk to some of my people down there. There are people from the diaspora for good governance. Some of our people are down there and feeding us back with information. We had a meeting yesterday just for that. So we're doing the whole thing from every side. You see, we can't get tired. This is not the time to get tired. Our principal told us it's a marathon race, not a sprint. And they keep emphasizing it. You see, that is a marathon race. And he knows what he's doing. He's not tired. I don't know how many of you saw him at the tribunal. He was laughing and joking and going around all over the whole place. When he left the court, the mob of obedient people didn't allow him to leave the court. They had to smuggle him out of there, you see, because there are people on the ground. It's just that they are keeping quiet, following the rule of law, because that's very important. We cannot be saying that people are not following the rule of law and we are not doing it. No, we have to live by example. You see? So please, what I'm saying is let's focus on the main thing. The main thing is to get this mandate.
Okay.
We get the mandate, all other things will fall in place. Thank you all for what you are doing, and may God bless all of you and your families. And Niger Watch, thank you again. I know, like I said before, it's a very difficult thing.
Thank you, sir.
Sometimes you lose a lot of sleep just to set this thing up. So it's not as easy. People will think it's easy, but it's not.
Exactly.
We are going to be supporting you as much as we can.
We know.
I've sent your your link to a couple of my contacts in Nigeria.
Thank you,
so that even in the United States here. So I just keep I'm encouraging you, don't get tired. We're not going to get tired until we get to that promised land.
Our mandate.
Thank you all, and God bless you all.
God bless you, sir.
Louis,
I guess one or two person wanted to ask a question
yes,
earlier
a question.
on.
Yes. Sorry, I know. Just to pick you back on the DGG, Diaspora for Good Governance. You said you sponsor people. What I want to find out is, I know he's pretty, like, you know P2B, you know his character, you know what he's made of. Such a man, you can happily sponsor him or any person. These people, you people normally sponsor to go into government and change things. Do you vet their character? Is it based on recommendation or somebody just come and
No, it's recommendation, and sometimes recommendation comes from P2B himself.
Okay, and so far none of
they'll
them
come to address us. They'll come and address us.
Okay, so far none of them has disappointed.
No, none of them has disappointed.
Okay, that's
all of them has. I mean, the young guy that was elected in was that in Plateau? Yeah.
Well spread.
Materials, everything. Yep. You see? Uche, what they call him? The young lady in Oka that was dean of.
Okay, the Lillian, is he?
Lillian, yeah, Lillian.
The professor.
Yeah.
Okay, I had yes, I can take you up on that. I had Victor Ume said when they were going around the campaign, he said, look, we had to, she was recommended, we had to go to university and pull her out to come and. Okay,
they had to pull out. Most of those things are recommendations that come to us.
She won under labor, a professor, very young lady.
So what we're doing with the good governor, that's why we didn't call it Nigeria for Good Governance. We're trying to expand it to almost all African countries. And we're just focusing on Nigeria first. Because if we get Nigeria right, other African countries will be much easier to follow. But if we don't get Nigeria right, we can forget the rest of them. Because they are looking up to Nigeria. So, like I said before, let's just focus on getting that mandate. Once we get the mandate, then we focus on the rest of the thing. And P2B is very good at picking people. I remember in Anambra, that was the same thing. You see, we helped him a lot in Anambra when he was running and all those. It's not one of those people that will beg for money. He doesn't do that. See, he doesn't do that. But what we do is we look at, okay, what materials does he need? You see, and we're always in connection with his chief of staff, Valentine. I've known Valentine for years. You see, so they tell us the candidates, and then we focus on that. Right now, we're focusing on Imo, Imo, and I think there's two other states, I can't remember them now, in the north.
But if you people can go as far as Plateau, you can also
went to Plateau.
You can also look westwards from the southeast. You look westwards, Edo Delta, southwest.
Yeah. We're looking at it. We have a person right in Benin that he lives in the United States, but he's been in Benin now coordinating. So they look for candidates, not only for governors, we're also looking for grassroots. We're also focusing on councillors, people who will be councillors. We're looking at that because those are part of the grassroots. If you can't get those grassroots, it will be difficult to start getting into the governors and all those type of things. You see, that's how we were able to get Abia State.
Mr. Ninja Watch, maybe you should become something.
No, Ninja Watch, we need to finish this, and then he may go in there and be a media person.
Probably.
It will be chopping our money.
No, not media. Let him go be a governor.
He'll be chopping our money. He'll be asking for press dollar sign. Yeah, no, don't put him like that one.
No, governor is better so that we can go to advise him of what to do. We tell you to turn the road.
Yeah.
Make the road.
But
Oga,
I just want to
Oga, no,
say, thank you,
okay.
sir, for trying to rewrite the wrong.
I got something to say.
And also for the mandates, in my own opinion, I stand to be corrected, or this is everybody with their own view. So far, I think the judiciaries, they are doing the right thing, especially with what happened yesterday when they rejected Agbado's representative. That was a good move for me. That is telling me that I don't think they are going to dance to his tunes. So hopefully, if he doesn't show up tomorrow, it's just going to be a clear case, I believe.
Well, but you know that's how Tinubu does things, right?
I know he's sneaky, and I always tell people he's a smart guy, but they're like, yeah, don't say smart before they attack me.
No, you see, he's a very smart guy. The question
God bless you, sir.
Where are you applying the smartness? Have you ever seen a little child that steals and you start talking to that little child, you find out that child is very intelligent.
God bless you, sir.
The question is, how do you get that child and shift them into things that are positive? Our principal talked about it when he was talking about the Yahoo boys.
Yes, thank
India,
you.
for example, was the Yahoo boys. India was where most of this thing started. But the Indian government figured out a way to redirect those.
So rechannel the smartness somewhere else.
The smartness. That's why you have all these .com and all kinds of things in India. You see, even including their hospitals. So it's the same thing here.
I am enjoying you, sir.
He didn't channel it. You see,
thank you.
Every one of us has good.
When I say smart, they're like, he's not smart. He's not smart. He's not smart.
Yes. Every one of us has good and evil. It depends on the one we nurture. When we nurture the good comes out. When we nurture the evil comes out. You see? That's why I don't know how many of you have children, but if you have children, sometimes you find one of your kids beating up his sibling. And then you as a parent will jump in and say, why are you doing that? Don't you know it's bad? And all those type of things. It's the evil part that is coming out. And if you don't control that, that will continue. You see, to go on. That's his own thing. He let his evil part keep going and going and going. So now, Nemesis is catching up with him. You see, and he's too old to change.
Why, let's say, some of us take exception to the word, associating Tinubu with the word smart, is that we never see anything good. Imagine
smart doesn't mean you are doing everything good.
I know who pocketed. I'm coming. Who pocketed Lagos, causing untold hardship on people. So when they say it's smart, then you now start to wonder of what use, how, even if to help the people. He said these are the governor. He governed the state. You could have at least shown it there or use it to outmaneuver something good and bring to your people. Rather, you are milking them.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Well, people that milk people are smart people also.
All the people there, all the people in Lagos that are smart, why do you sit down and somebody like that came and maneuvered you for years and you're following that person like what they call it, like not even a goat, you see, but like a lamb. Lamb doesn't have sense.
Oh my God, right on, sir.
So if it's a goat, there's a way you do goat will fight back. You see, but lamb doesn't fight back. So that's what has happened. And I remember when people were telling people about Tinubu, they keep saying, no, he's a nice guy. Because he gives them $2 million here, $1 billion here, and they sold their soul. You see, all these things happens. When Jesus was on earth, what did he do? He made Jesus. He made Judas Iscariot, the most bright guy. He made him what? The treasurer.
Man,
Wasn't
I'm
him that
enjoying you,
betrayed
sir.
him? He betrayed him. Peter was the trusted apostle. Peter said, I will not deny you. I won't do anything. Well,
oh my God.
You see,
who are the people that actually stood by Jesus? It was women.
You see,
The women
See,
run away.
you are talking wisdom.
When you look at
Wisdom.
the whole thing, you see, say for example, I'm from Anambra State. I remember when Obi was going to court, we were the one that supported him. The clergy, everyone was telling him, no, just leave it alone. That's the will of God. And he told them, no, it's not the will of God for children to be suffering. But those clergymen forgot that his older brother is a reverend father, his older sister is a reverend sister. So you are talking to somebody that has
We're
those
singing to the
groups of
choir.
people in his house.
Mm-hmm.
So he told them no. Now, when he won the case and came out, that's why Ngige was warning Tinubu. He was warning Tinubu, but Tinubu didn't listen to him. He said, you don't know whom you are fighting. This guy will not give up. Mostly when he knows it's right.
Sir, I think he listened though. I think Tinubu listened a little bit. And you know why I said that? I think that was why they intentionally put him on the third position to deviate him from fighting back.
But they don't know who he is.
They don't know who he is.
You see,
they don't know it's
have to know.
okay.
You see, you have to know who you're dealing with. You see,
I'm very happy for your submission tonight, sir, because it seems to be you are the only one that speaks my language.
Please allow.
You know?
Can you allow him to give us more information without interruption? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
With what?
Now the question, one.
Well, I was asking a question. They said I should not interrupt him, so maybe we should let him talk. Otherwise, I want to go back to my question.
Yeah, but well, the thing I'm saying is we need to, like I said, emphasizing, we need to focus on the main thing because that's what Obi himself is focused on. You see, he's focused on that main thing, very focused on it. He's not focused on any other thing. He's not focused on any distraction. You see, it's not focused on any distraction. He's focused on that main point, and all these principles, his lawyers knows that. You see, his lawyers knows that. And I believe he's going to get that mandate.
Amen.
In Jesus' name. I believe he's going to get it.
Me too.
Because this is not the first war we've gone with him. The one in Anambra is like Nigeria. We have a lot of barracudas in Anambra that will just getting money anyhow.
If you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind me asking,
do you think yesterday when they were doing this, something crossed my mind, sir. Do you think any of our lawyers will have collected bribe from Tinubu?
No.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
not those lawyers that I know.
Can I have a circumstantial question?
But the thing I need to caution us about is the same thing I cautioned before the election.
Mm-hmm.
When they were talking about INEC is going to do this, INEC is going to do that. And I said, listen to me. Let's keep our eyes open. These people are going to rig this election.
Mm.
And they said, oh, they are going to use this technology. And I said, look, they will turn those things off and tell you it did not work. I said, I've seen a lot of those type of things. So, and they said, no, I mean, with the technology. And when this thing started, I was awake until 6 a.m. in the morning. I was awake when they handed over to Tinubu the certificate.
I saw it too.
Now, this is Tinubu who sleeps in a wimp. He says that. But that very morning, he was wide awake.
Yeah, we've analyzed it here.
You see? So I said, okay, this is somebody that sleeps Even while we are still talking to him, how did
Suddenly
fall
he's awake.
You see? I said, which means it's a planned thing. You see, and my friend called me from Nigeria. He said, you said this thing when you came home. I said, well, I told you guys. I said, there is something we used to say in Igbo land. So if your enemies are surrounding you and you go to sleep, now you are in a horrible situation. So here we have all these barracuda surrounding us, and we said, oh, the INEC has said we're going to use this machine and do it this way and do it that way and do it the other way, and everything will come out fine. So what happened? We went to sleep. And then by 4:30, oh, Tinubu is now the president. And people say, how did that happen? Well, normally, evil spirits move around at midnight and early in the morning. Now, you see those witchcrafts that said they were supporting Tinubu. When do you think they move around?
So Tinubu is a witchcraft.
It's part of their clique. I mean, if you are not a part of witchcraft, will people come to your anything you are doing? No, they won't come.
They came
that
too
group.
late.
But you see, people don't associate those things. They think it's a playing game. We are actually in a spiritual warfare as it is. That's what we are in.
All right, let me, Tony Africa, you wanted to say something earlier on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, ask your question now.
And yeah, anyway, I don't want to ask too much again because what I was trying to say is that I'm seeing 2 clocks in the progress of the nation. First of all, this constituency project money that are being handed over to these so-called legislators, those people that they call senators, all those useless honorables. Why can't that money be channeled towards ministries of work, ministries of education? How do you expect to do that? And then my second question is that all these ex-governors that are vacating offices, and then that are still going to be earning hundreds of billions, as salaries, even though that did not perform at all. I mean, you see that the country is total, and then that is the exclusive list that is not even. I mean, and then considering the fact that we don't have a national census to prove that see whether we're actually more than people of the North, how are they going to play out with the useless constitution, sir?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, like I said before, it's first thing first. You see, we can't do anything unless we have the power to do it.
Exactly.
And let me use Anambra State as an example. Anambra State was a very case study issue. Because I remember all the governors that was coming to the US to tell us that we have to do this. And we, the Anambra citizens, we were contributing money. And then finally we decided we were going to send a delegation to go and see what was going on. And then we went, that's when the eyes opened. And we decided to start saying, okay, we need to look for somebody to run for governor. I remember when Obi was recruited, Obi refused. He said, nope, I don't want to deal with this politics thing. I'm fine with being chairman of the Fidelity Bank. I'm doing very well with all the boards that I'm in and all those type of things. Because they went to Barrister Nwabeze to be the governor. Barrister Nwabeze said, no, I'm 62 years of age. I'm not going to find a young man, which is wisdom that he used there. And they asked him who. He said, well, let me give you 2, 3 names. Say number 1, Obi. Number 2, Obi. Number 3, Obi. Go and find him. If you find him, let me know. That's how Obi started running for governor. And then when he went in, do you think those people went went to sleep. That's why Obi keeps saying these people are going to fight back because you are going where they are getting their money to eat. So now you are going to close that area. So they fought back in Anambra State. I remember that vividly. They fought back, but we told him, no, we have to fight back. If you, most of you remember in those days, they locked a governor in a restroom. And we dealt with that family that locked the governor in the restroom. We dealt with that family. The Anambra citizens in diaspora. So until Obi got that mandate to be the governor of Anambra State, that's when things started changing. At this time, I was telling you, no schools, none, zero, were open. The schools have been closed for 2 years. He came, he opened up the schools, paid the teachers, paid gratuities, pension. He said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the salary. In those days, they used to kill one cow every day in the government house. He chopped all of them off. The governor's, what they call it, his cars that he used in going, Anambra State governor uses about 25 of them. He cut all of them down. He said, it's only 5 that we have. They even opened up a fuel dump where they put fuel. He shut that down. Said, there's no way. We're not paying money for that. All the furnitures. I know people who build furnitures for the state. He never bought any furniture from overseas. He used the cabinet workers that are in the state. All these young boys that have their own cabinet place, he went and called them. Do you know how to do this? That one say, yes. Okay, tell me how much you are going to use to do that. And he'll tell the accountant, write the check, give it to them. If they don't build it, we go and arrest them. The kids will go, they'll build the bed, the tables, everything. None of them were imported. He said, we have people that build it in Nigeria. We're not going anywhere to import it. And then he went to Inison Motors. Paid that guy, I can't remember how many billions of naira. So this is how much you for all the cars. Produce them.
$5 billion naira.
Yeah. Produce them. He paid them in advance. And that's what supported that man to be able to expand his company. Now he has second plant that is building other cars and all those. He's building luxurious buses now, trucks, all kinds of things, fire service vehicles and so on. So what am I saying here? What I'm saying is we have to get the power first before we can start implementing anything. We can't turn Nigeria around without the power. So once we get that mandate, Nigeria will start seeing light. Right now, we're in darkness, and we have to be the light of the nation. There's nothing else we can do. You say, well, why is that? Because our generation that was trusted the same thing we have here, that generation, what did we do? We dropped the ball. Because it's a relay race that we're in. So we dropped the ball. So now we have another generation. The question is, are we going to let that generation go? Or are we going to fight for our country? Because we don't have any other country. If we're going to fight for it, which I think that's why everybody that is on these Niger watch is on there. Everybody wants a better Nigeria. You see, where everything works.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Sir, I don't know if you could take a question.
Sorry.
Can you take a question?
Let me.
Well, I can take a question, but Niger Watch is moderating the thing, so
Yeah, I think
time he
it's a
has.
I think it's a
Let me see.
it's a-
I think
it's a-
Ginger Breadman wanted to ask a question earlier on.
Okay.
Ginger
okay, sir.
Breadman, please go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for the insights. Please, considering the fact that you have said earlier that you have some of your colleagues back in Nigeria monitoring what is going on in the courts. So I want to see if I can relate what happened in the court yesterday and what happened at the Supreme Court in Osun State. I think is this the same council of P2B, the same council of Governor Adeleke, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Great. So with the judicial arm rendering these two, judgments at both at the appellate court and the superior Supreme Court, are we to say, to read the meaning that the judicial branch are trying to make a statement that they are now going to sit up and do what is needful according to the rule of law?
Well, that's what we're hoping that they will do, because they know that all eyes are on them. Not only the eyes of Nigeria, but the eyes of the world. And the other thing that gave me hope is before the election, I didn't have hope on Nigerian election. I didn't have hope at all. Because number one, I didn't trust INEC that they would do the right thing. Even though they were saying all the right things, I was looking at their body language. Did they really mean what they're saying? Or they just saying it so that it sounds good in the ear? And now we find out they didn't really mean what they're saying. But the thing that gave me hope is when I was watching the elections and they were talking about Abia State election. So I keyed into that to see what it's all about. And then I found out that Professor Oti and the lady is from Ebonyi State, the vice chancellor of the university in Owerri. So they came to bribe her, give her money so that she can rewrite the results. And she refused. And they put her all kinds of pressure and she refused. And she even stated the thing. Even the INEC chairman was putting pressure on her to change the results. And she said, no, I'm going to report the results I have here. When I saw that, I said, oh my God, we still have people in Nigeria that can stand up for the truth. So, and I was telling a friend of mine, I said, this lady's action will affect a group number of people in any of our elections or even our judiciary. Because they've seen how people reacted to this lady just for her truthfulness and straightforwardness. So that gave me hope. That's one action gave me a lot of hope that we might have more people like that that will stand up for the truth, you see. So that's where my hope is in terms of what is going to happen. The judiciary will do the needful. But we have to watch. We have to keep watch. We are not going to sleep. We're not going to sleep. Yes, I don't know how many of you know President Reagan of the United States. When he was going to negotiate with Gorbachev, which is the president of the Soviet Union at that time, he said, I'm going to trust but verify.
Yes.
Trust but verify. We trusted INEC, but we never verified. And that's where they took us unawares. Because if we are verified, they won't take us unawares. You see, they won't take us unawares. So this time around, we're going to trust. Yes, the judiciary have said what they are going to be doing. We will trust them, but we will keep an eye on them to make sure they do the needful that they said they were going to do. They said they were not going to entertain any technicalities.
Good.
So if they're going to, because I had to verify that. I had that in one of the, what they call it, social media. So I said, okay, let me verify this. So I called my cousin in Abuja. I said, this is what they're saying. What are they saying in the call? He said, yeah. They said the chairperson said there won't be any, they are not entertaining any technical, because that's what they use in deferring cases. They are not entertaining any technical transactions there. I said, oh, that's great. At least that's one major thing. But that doesn't mean we should go to sleep. It means we need to be awake. If you are going to fall asleep, get something and put in your eyes so that your eyes will be open to see what's going on, because we're going right down to the deadline. See, they're going right down to the deadline. And I pray that the judgment will be in our favor in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you
I
very much,
appreciate.
Sam.
I
Thank you,
appreciate.
sir.
Okay.
Very,
Welcome,
very
Mara.
uplifting tonight. Very, very uplifting. In
We
fact,
really do appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
uh,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Mr. Louis,
actually
Mr.
was,
Mr.
Everybody
Louis
hold
has
on.
always been
Everybody,
wonderful.
everybody
yeah,
hold on,
I
please.
listened for the first
Mr.
time.
Victoria,
I sat down here and was listening and
Madam
enjoying you
Victoria,
speak.
Madam
Sir,
Victoria, hold
sir.
on, please. Madam
Okay.
Victoria, hold on.
Okay, I didn't hear you. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Louis, I want to appreciate you, sir, for coming in to educate everyone for us this evening. This means a lot, especially on this journey that we are right now. We needed this kind of sensitization that can illustrate and strengthen us, direct us in the right path. I like this. It's a great opportunity to have you here, sir. So please continue to join us and guide us, on what we are doing here. Appreciate you, sir. And somebody wanted to talk earlier on,
I beg. Yes, I wanted
hold
to say
on.
something for people where they talk when other people they talk. This our senior uncle now that came here said that he worked for the Nigerian government between 1971 to 1979. That's that time they somewhere for inside heaven, inside. So we need to understand that sometimes when somebody is giving us vital information, because what Nigeria Watch is doing in this journey so far at the stage we are, we needed somebody that is from the inside and he knows why he came here today. He has been watching Nigeria Watch. So please let us be calculated and move in the right direction, especially asking some questions that are not in the direction that we need to be going. All questions are good, though, but there are sometimes you will reserve some for later.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
I'm
Everybody.
glad that I was able to attend. Like I said before, I've been watching Naija Watch and Omoye and the rest of them. Fayegun, Mayegun, I've been watching him also and looking at what is going on. Sometimes I try to get in. I can't get in either because I'm late or something like that. But at any case, I think the important thing is for us to be supporting all these platforms. Because if we don't support them and they shut them down, then we don't have any other way to go. But if we support them the best way we can and do the likes and share and all those type of things, again, they will be able to be encouraged to continue doing what they are doing. So I just pray and encourage you all, whatever you can do to support those platforms, do it. It's not a wasted amount of money.
Thank you, sir.
And of course, God will bless you for that.
Thank you.
So I thank everybody for all the effort that you're putting in.
God bless you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Amanda Patricia, you'll be quiet. I thought you wanted to say something earlier on. If you're still awake, please talk to us.
I wanted to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the advice and counsel, and also the insight that you're giving to us. My question is, would it not be right to call evil for evil? Because I disagree that we call people that are fraudulent and malicious evil or evil genius to be smart. I think I think the proper word is evil genius, not smart, because smart
but
can be
you call
good
them
or
genius.
bad. Evil genius, yes, they are evil genius.
Genius is gifted.
Yeah, it's still is yeah. Smart is also in a way gifted.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's the
So
same thing. You are saying the same thing that you said they shouldn't
when
call
you say
them.
smart, so when you say smart, like you defined it. You said smart can be good and can be bad. Yeah. So why don't put evil smart? So we know which smart you are talking about, or we are talking about, because we
Well,
can't
you
be
can say
saying
they are
smart
dubiously
when we
smart.
know there is good smart and there is bad smart.
Madam, you for ask Oga good question. Nobody just say smart. Tinubu is a smart man. Pero don't get a house. You don't get family. Where you fit say my cousin. Like me, if you go to Benin, now you see my family. You go to any other local government in Benin, you see my family. But this man don't get family. You say no smart?
Nobody use such words. Nobody use such words for criminals.
Not even that. Let's even
Let
assume.
me.
Let's just use what just happened recently with Wike. Look at the way he used Wike, and now he embarrassed him.
That's why it's evil. It's evil.
Used him. Now he has dumped Wike. He has given him the shocker of his life, telling
That's what.
him, cannot banter with you. You should go and banter with Sanwo-Olu. I'm
And then
not your mate.
point blank, point
I'm
blank.
your president now. That
Yes.
is someone that is smart.
No,
He
no,
Smartphone.
said it's not
I,
smart. It's not smart.
I,
It's not smart.
He
I
is
think
No, it's
the
not
satanic.
issue,
smart.
That's
It's
the
not
satanic.
smart. He's
Smartphone.
dumb.
Smartphone
He's
can be used
dumb.
to
He's
commit
dumb.
bad
Is he
things.
a
the
dumb
issue,
person?
so
No.
the issue with Wike is this. Wike went to town that he has rigged River State for APC, but before Tinubu's arrival to River State on official visit, the news is all over the place, even on INEC server, the one they uploaded, that Labour Party won Rivers State. So what face will now Tinubu be in Rivers and be promising Wiki? We were just trying to tell him that, look, you didn't do anything and you are claiming. Now look at even INEC has even vindicated Labour. So what are you talking? So if it had been a case of INEC uploaded the result and APC won the way it is, then maybe Tinubu will now decide to say, okay, let me play this guy and tell him that, look, you can't get something from me. That will now be, if you interpret it that way, that is using. So in this case, Tinubu did not use Wike because Tinubu did not achieve his result. Do you understand? Tinubu did not achieve that. As far as even INEC, which is APC establishment, did not even support what the claim. So Tinubu, Wike just went to town ahead of his time to go and brag, not knowing that INEC will upload the result to say that, because Tinubu will now say, why should you now say that, what are you coming to bargain from me? Your state, you didn't deliver. Look at what INEC is showing. So in that case, even an embarrassment on Wike. So to that extent, it's not that I wouldn't say Tinubu used Wike because if Wike messed himself up. So Tinubu didn't use him
My
unless.
brother CM,
Can I say something?
look, my brother CM. This Tinubu is still very good friend of. They are just deceiving you guys. They just try to gaslight you guys so that now to say that they correct. They don't correct. That be the part of the smartness what we talk about, because that man is openly, disowning Wike before the whole world. It's
That is
lie.
it, yes.
But behind the scene, they are working together and say, you don't see them. They don't.
I don't.
I mean, what?
I don't. I
You don't
don't
know what
think
it's called.
so. I
So
don't
you don't
think
know what it's
so.
called smartphone. Smartphone. I
Mm-mm.
be Tinubu smartphone. You can use it to do
No,
good things.
that
You
is
can use
not
it to do
smart.
bad things.
Please, no, not that
No,
way.
Tony,
Because
Tony, you will
not,
say Tinubu
not,
is
not, not,
satanic. Yeah, the devil is a very
not that
smart
way.
person, but in an
In the
evil and
end,
deceitful
to
way.
be honest with you, in this business between Tinubu and Wike, to me, Tinubu came out with some glory because you, Wike, claim that you are good, you want to rig for him. Then you came out even before they say, I've rigged, they have announced. Only for INEC to even upload a different thing that supports labor. So it is now, Tinubu will now be wondering. But you say you rig for me, now look at what is happening. You messed yourself up. So that's why even then, Wike should have shamelessly kept quiet. He would have said it behind closed doors. Maybe when they are walking along the corridor, he will say something. Than to come there and announce that this. And then Tinubu messed him up. So in other words, Tinubu is having upper hand.
My brother. The Northern people say they don't want him. They breed like one. The man say now he will be president. All the Osibajolo there, they terrorize this guy. Then the man say now he will be. Then they still do something. Then he go to Abeokuta. He said that now my own turn. Oh, if you do nonsense, I will tell you now who they for Afro Rock. Maybe, probably, allegedly. I mean
course.
that guy is a tough guy. Yoruba don't like him. Nobody like him. But he's still the person that I mean that guy is smart. You have to why are we not asleep now? It's not because of Tinubu.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily. I didn't see that way.
Even Rufai acknowledged it and said, "Give it to him." Tinubu is a city guy, and he knows how to play the game. He's smart. Shabi Rufai is our guy. Rufai is our guy. Rufai is great. Rufai even gave it to him. When you come to the platform and you don't want to use some certain ones, it's a fact. You like it or leave it.
No, but it's not in dispute now that Tinubu to go and rob a bank. Do you think it's easy?
God bless you. That's what I told them the other day. They threw me alive. They threw me alive. They're like, yeah. They just stop.
It's just
no, you see, you didn't finish. You didn't listen to what Gingerbread Man was saying. You didn't listen to me. He said he's a criminal, not smart, isn't it, Gingerbread Man?
No, he said to rob a bank. He's
a criminal.
Smart man.
That's what I'm saying.
To rob a bank.
You need to be smart to rob it, to successfully rob a bank.
God bless you. All this. Do you think Hush Puppy is dumb? Hush Puppy wasn't a dumb. You think to rob is easy? I used robbing a bank as an example that day. They were all showing me. This Elvis will tell me, you give me headache. Then
where is Hush Puppy now?
I used the word smart.
Where is Hush Puppy?
Don't use it here. Don't use smartness on the platform.
Then where is Hush Puppy?
No.
Where is Hush Puppy then?
CM, please. Victoria, please don't ever use the word this Elvis in this platform. Don't dare. Please. That's the height of disrespectfulness. I don't take that rubbish here. Please control yourself. What kind of privilege is that?
I just said I'm sorry. I didn't even know I was muted. I'm sorry.
I don't like that. Please. Everybody can talk. Let's argue to learn. We are not here to argue to disrespect anybody.
I just said I'm sorry.
Okay, let me say this. Let me conclude. We'll soon sleep. I feel that Hush Puppy, look at where he ended up. I don't like that type of smartness now. Assuming he didn't end up where he's ended up, one can say emulate him, he's smart. What is the point of putting yourself in a hot palm oil?
Yeah, you are the only one. You are
but the money should they go on. All these agents are still working.
Forget it. Do you know Americans interrogating him? Don't they have links? Do you know how many people they be even to close the account worldwide? Do you think
you know why Hush Puppy was caught? It's not that anybody is going to be condoning or I'm not kind of endorsing Hush Puppy.
Extravagancy.
Thank you. Extravagancy. And he was a little bit childish about it because he was too.
Madam Victoria, English you speak. English, cool down. Let me tell you something.
The smartness
is a smart thief. If you be smart, they no go catch you.
Exactly.
They no go catch you. So when you say I was going somewhere, but you quick enter summary. The thing I'm saying is that you need to be smart to be a criminal. Now, what caps that smartness is if you go smoothly. Not what you are. When you are caught, you're a criminal. You're not a smart person.
So
it's criminal.
So the the end justifies the means. Now, at the end, just okay. Look at. Do you know that where Hush Puppy there now? Who go like to there with all the money? What is the point? Like Tony say, in money they work for him. He work for him. Wait, where? Okay, put him on to see where he there. He thinks saying like him, despite the fact that he thinks. You see, when your freedom is curtailed, particularly of they are curtailing your freedom not just because of the fact that something like, let's say you are sick, you are disabled, you can't move around again, you are bedridden. That one is different. It's just sickness. But where because of crime they curtail your freedom and put you somewhere, no matter what, everything is zero now. You can't. What are you bragging? Why not bring yourself out? So in that case now, so if I know that if I do what Hush Puppy do, I will end up where he ended up. So of what use is it to me? Of what use?
Tinubu made mistake for not allowing them to upload the elections, electronically. And that's where, and then the 25% in FCT. That's also a mistake for him.
They were
I mean, they didn't know. They didn't plan it well. They didn't have that because
That's
sometimes
why it's not smart.
sometimes the smart people they do make mistakes.
Tony, why I know that you are very
Why
funny
are you
man,
guys
but you are
arguing like
contradicting
this?
yourself.
Why are you guys arguing?
You are
What's going on?
contradicting yourself, Tony.
No.
Why are you guys arguing? What's going
No,
on?
the thing is this. I've said it. If in the end, okay, you go rob a bank on your way coming out, they catch you. That smartness don't end now. You go rob bank, buy houses, they catch you, seize all those houses, we put you for jail. That one, it's not
No,
worthy to be a
you go rob, you go do robbery finish. When they can't catch you, can't.
No, now you go do robbery. Not be me. Now you go do robbery.
And then you brag about, you brag to buy baby cars. They will catch you now.
Say you do. Say you.
APC go thief,
you see, it can't say an APC. You see, say now you come get. Why not say I go thief?
Hello, Mr. Lewis. I have a quick question for you, Mr. Lewis.
You don't think
Mr.
smart
Lewis.
criminal where they end up for court?
Mr. Lewis, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, please. I have a question for Mr. Lewis. Assuming Tinubu does not show up tomorrow, what happens?
Oh, I'm trying to open up. Yeah, you'll be contempt of court.
But they say they go charge battery for France now.
That doesn't make any difference.
Could that be considered as part of the technicality that the talk was talking about?
It's not technicality. Do you know that in the US, they've went to the hospital and get somebody's testimony right in there.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the hospital. They actually chained the person on the bed with the court bed. You see, because courts don't appreciate you violating any subpoena that you have. You see, so dodging that. I mean, look at what they did to the governor of Plateau State yesterday. I mean, he was lucky they didn't throw him in jail because that is impersonation right there. He wasn't the one that was. The petition wasn't addressed to him.
Please, is that not what I said? That they should have held him for contempt?
Please, Louis. Sometime on Niger Watch Forum here, we like to make be a bit comical so that we feel happy. Does it mean that because Tinubu don't specialize in distributing questions like he did in Chatham House, so when he came to appearing before the tribunal, he distributed appearance?
Yeah. You see, that's the point there. Because this is something he has been doing and getting away with. So now he cannot get away with it. You see? It's like, say, for example, I always tell people that female judges are much tougher. I mean, those of us in the US, you don't want a female police person to stop you for ticket. You are in deep trouble. You must pay that ticket. I mean, they'll give you that ticket. A guy, you can beg and do all kinds of things, and After a while, he will say, go. The female police officers know. They go by the book. You see, by that book, that's what they go for. So
same in Germany, sir. Same in Germany here. The women police, they are very they're not the hear word.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like in Nigeria, for example, where they are trying, the Tinubu is trying to play all these judges and so on. The judges are not going to tolerate that because it's an insult to them.
So what did CJ and go find for France? I mean, for London.
Well, they know what they go find in there. He knows exactly what he did. You see, I'm always with what the Archbishop of Abuja said. He said those people that rigged the election knew they rigged the election, and God knows that they rigged the election, and God knows that they know they rigged the election. So that's where we're going to stop with, because when you look at them, they keep saying, no, that's not what I did. No, if I don't know that's what you did, there is somebody that knows exactly what you did. And what they did not know is they are keeping example for their children. What you are telling your children is to lie. So they will continue to lie. One day they will lie to you too. You might be at your deathbed. You call your child. He said, oh, Daddy, I can't come home because it looks like I'm sick too. And you say, where did that come from? Well, that's what you were doing.
How to escape heat if you don't have
Yeah, he watched all through. People don't know that. You see, it's like if you are smoking and you say your child, I don't want you to smoke. But he see you smoking, what do you think he will do when you leave? He will just go and take the same thing and say, let me practice like my dad. And then you come back, you see him smoking. There's nothing you can do because you created that atmosphere, that environment. You see? So it's like people are blaming Tinubu's children and all those things. No, that was the atmosphere that their father created for them.
Criminality.
Else.
Drug baronism.
Yeah, they don't know anything else. They haven't worked in their life. And you are telling them to go and work. Probably don't even know how to wash their clothes. You see? And now you are telling them to go and work. No, they don't know how to do that. You see? So now they are buying houses and all because they saw their father doing the same thing.
Certificate forgers.
The right thing to do. You see? So now the thing will come and boomerang on him. And they will say, okay, where did that start from? It started from the parents.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, it started from the parents. And then you see the wife that calls herself a pastor of the Redeemed Church, and you can't stand up and say, evil is evil.
Satanic pastor.
You see, evil is evil. So sometimes I wonder, the most important thing that Jesus gave us in his word of God is hope and love.
We are hopeful.
Yeah, he said faith, hope, and love. But the greatest among them is love. So whether you are doing prophecy and shouting all over the whole place and you don't have any love, forget it.
Sir, I want to make an observation.
Mm-hmm.
I have observed that in the social media spaces, it appears that it's one side of the country that are, talking and speaking. But I know from, and this is my belief, that the other part of the country are in the same spirit like us, but their approach is different. Because when I look at today was I think the 50th day or the 51st day of the Occupy Abuja, give us our money back. The core leaders of those movements are young, obedient from the north. Those are those ones that, went into the Sambisa forest and those parts of Meduguri that no presidential aspirant has ever gone. They were the ones that went into the grassroots of the north. And we know that, Labour Party received tremendous votes from the north. And those people, they are also as smart as we, but their approach is different. And the APC, they understand the body language of the country. And I believe the judges do. So we're expecting them to do what is right by the law.
Well, the young people from the north, most of them are more physical demonstration, you see, because if you look at, there was a demonstration that came, it was all northern women. And then the southern women started joining them. In fact, the northern women came to Abuja naked. That's where the country started looking at, maybe we need to start doing something here. They came from Adamawa, and they're still demonstrating there. They're still demonstrating there. The same thing with Plateau. It's just that what you notice is that our press, some of them, I won't say all of them, some of them are bought. Because I've dealt with Nigerian press. If you want to write something, they want you to pay before they publish it. Even if it's an editorial or opinion side that you want to do, they want you to pay money before they publish it. If you don't pay money, they won't publish it. You see? So you ask yourself, what type of paper is that? I mean, look at when Ruben Abati was talking about whether they need to televise the hearing or not. And he will keep saying, well, the cost of doing it, the cost of doing it. And I was shouting to my TV. I said, what about people who died? We have 80 people died. How much do you think that cost would be to their parents? I was here watching Oputa panel. Oputa panel was 24 hours. I was here watching it when they were doing it. Was live.
So there's precedence.
There's precedent for that. And he's talking as if to say we've never done anything like that before. You see, we've done it. You see, we've done it before. If it's in the public interest, then you want to show it. And they don't even know. That's why El-Rufai said something that was very, very important. He said, we can make money out of this because there are eyes focusing on it, and you can advertise product. That's what America does. They like things like this because they can sell a lot of products through it. Because there's eyeballs trying to watch that whole, you know how many million people will watch that particular tribunal, both in Nigeria and overseas. And then you have companies advertising and doing all kinds of, which companies will be willing to pay for? You see? But it's only when we want to do the right thing, then they say, oh, money, money, money. We don't have money to do that. But when they want to do the wrong thing, they'll find money to do the wrong thing. You see? So it's going to be, I think, like I was telling a friend of mine, I think when this pressure keep going the way it's going, because I was listening to the lawyer for PDP, they've also requested for televising the hearing, and they said they will decide that on Thursday. So let's hope on Thursday they will be able to allow that. So I don't know what they're afraid of.
But sir, thank you very much for your. I mean, I've said earlier that you've always been a well of wisdom. I think I met you on Omaye's Corner, and then ever since then it's been wealth of wisdom. So will you think that the likes of Abati making such comments, and if you read his body language and all that he's been doing ever since this Tinubu? Because I know that before Tinubu, before he returned from France, Abati was always going all out. I mean, he was saying, but ever since Tinubu returned, I think he's been kind of like being kind of he's maybe careful in the way he analyzes things. I mean, I went on Twitter and even said that there are comments I put on Twitter and people were responding. So, what can you say about the character of Abati? Because at this time, regardless of where your either tribe or religion or sentiment, the nation actually needs men to stand up and people like you to speak the truth. I mean, Rufai also works in the media and he keeps saying it. Do you think the likes of Abati have been bought over, or what
No,
would you
it's not bought over. What you have to know is fear sometimes paralyzes people. If you want to do anything and you are fearful, you will not do it. You see, fear is one of those things. So he might be threatened before, so his life, of his family, and all those things. Now, it doesn't mean that El-Rufai is not fearful, but he doesn't let the fear control him. He does not let the fear control him. You see? Because I always tell people, I remember when we were demonstrating about apartheid in South Africa, in the US. There were people that were literally afraid, and I'm talking about South Africans that were literally afraid. Oh, don't do anything, just let it go, we go quietly, and all those things. And those of us who were not afraid said, no, we're not going to sit down there and wait. You see? And what people don't know is even during slavery, people were fighting that they don't want to be in slavery. In the coast of Savannah, the slaves torpedo a whole ship and kill the captain of the ship. You go to that coast there, you see it as part of the tourist area.
Underground Railroad, yeah.
Yeah, all those things. Martin Luther King knew he was going to die because they shot him before. But he said it's too late now. I've seen the mountaintop. That was his last speech. I have a dream. And then he died. He had four little children when that happened. You see? And then you look at Rasom Kuti. They burnt his thing down, burnt everything down. And at the end, what happened? Wasn't what he was singing about, is it not the same thing we're suffering today? You see? So you notice that people are afraid, and you're not afraid. It's like people are asking our principal, His Excellency P2B, to be very careful. And the man is not afraid. If you know that man is not afraid about anything, if you know where he lives in Onitsha, he comes out there and greets everybody. How are you doing? And all those type of things. And then he goes back in. You come to his house, he's going to serve you by himself. If his wife is not there, he will serve you by himself. What do you want? You tell him, you go and get it. You see, by himself. And I used to tell people, don't worry about him. He's not afraid. He said, if he dies, he's gain. I said, because he has faith in himself. So a lot of these people that sometimes don't want to say anything is fear. Fear of dying. You see? So that's what we have. So it's like people say, oh, I'm afraid of Tinubu. Why will you be afraid of him? He bleeds the same way you are bleeding. He doesn't have his what they call it, his life somewhere, he can die the same way anybody else can die. I mean, look at him now jetting out to France because he's sick. Well, if he has all that power, I'll cure himself. But no, you can't do that. You have to go and see a doctor to do that. If they have a very good hospital in Nigeria, would they be going out?
You should have gone to Mr. Papa or the native doctor.
I have a question.
You see, people don't remember there was a time in Nigeria, foreign students were coming from all over the world to school in Nigerian universities in those days.
True.
Because working with, yes, they used to send them to come and do what we used to call summer jobs and all those things in offices and companies and all those type of places. You see? So sometimes people look at it and said, oh my God, there's nothing good about it. I said, no, there's a lot good in Nigeria. It's just that we allow these thugs and Abiros to come and destroy the whole place. You see? In those days, high school students, during long vac, they give them jobs commensurate to their own skills. They'll come there, okay, what do you want to learn? You say they post you there. You earn some little money. So when you're going back to school, use that to buy shirts or trousers or shoes or all kinds of things. You see?
Yes, Oga, can I ask a question now?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see now, you are just going there now. You know, this platform, I'll be one on several occasions not to be touching some areas. Now that the countries, you know, as they born me, I see 2 farmhouse in Benin, 12-story building, twin, and then we have a cocoa house in Ibadan, amenities and the industrial estates. Everything was working. Then until you know, Murtala Mohammed now is one that came to destroy the country by taking the capital to Abuja and then taking all the money up north and all this quota system. That is what is destroyed the country, sir. Thank you.
No, let me give you an example. Murtala Mohammed wasn't the one that took away the capital. You see, the person that actually killed Nigeria was Babangida. He was the one that killed Nigeria. I was in the civil service at that time. Because what did he do? When he came in, he retired 6,000 federal civil servants. And brought in the people he called his people, and nobody has experience on how to run a government. Because normally in government, when they retire people, even in companies, before they retire somebody, they will hire a new person that person will train.
Capable people.
Yeah, that person will be, the person that is leaving will train that person before you leave.
But don't you think that they are trying to implement Amadou Bello's agenda of Northerners first?
No, it wasn't what happened. The problem is when they retired that 6,000 employees. So a lot of employees left. It was a retrenchment. And then he came in and did what he called the structural adjustment. The structural adjustment killed our currency.
Yeah.
You see, it was a gradual thing.
Yes. Because very painful when we see that we were able to refine our oil. And then secondly, there was one thing that there's some documentary that I watched today that back in the days in Nigeria, that you know now I was also like 15 years old, around that kind, 84, 85. Then I know that people were talking about Satana car, Satana, and the people talk of Peugeot, SRO. Nobody was talking about Mercedes back then, because I know that in my family, when I want to go out, they say, do not drive this because we are small boys now. So they say that they will steal all those Satana and Peugeot. We have to drive Mercedes, so that they don't steal that. But what is that today now? If you come on sports, Enugu Rangers not there again, IICC not there again, And all the Nigerians and all the black people, they are talking about Liverpool. You see that, and they were talking about Jesus Christ. Everybody just scatter. We not feel find our oil.
The thing there is, it's when we started selling our crude oil to individuals, selling this oil well to individuals. That's when we started getting into problem. You see, they started selling it to individuals. And of course, individuals, they were selling it to, some of them are thugs. And what they were doing is stealing the oil.
Yes.
Nigeria today, there's about 1.5 million barrels of oil that is being stolen every single day in Nigeria. And you can't tell me it's you and I that is going and stealing it and putting it in our pockets. It's people in the government.
Yes.
That are stealing the thing.
And who are those people that own the major power in Nigeria, sir?
Well, the people that own, you see, the thing there is it goes across tribe. You see, the problem is they come and tell us, they said, oh, well, the Fulanis are the ones that has all the oil blocks. The Hausas has a lot of oil blocks. Let me give you a history of the North. The Hausa people were one people in the North that have their own tradition. Their Muslim religion is different from that of the Fulanis. So when the Fulanis came in, they came in first into Sokoto. Now, at that time, there's no Sokoto Caliphate. What they have in Sokoto at that time was Emir. That's what they have in all of the North, was Emir. The North was okay. The North, the Hausas are not cattle rearers. The Hausas were predominantly farmers. The ones that were rearing cattle is the Fulanis. Those are the ones that were rearing cattle. So when they came in,
and they're predominantly not Nigerians.
They are not Nigerians. Most of them came from Central Africa because they were pursued out of Central Africa. So when they came in, and that was in the 1800s, so they told the Emir of Sokoto was having...
Sorry, sir. They are actually nomads.
Yeah, they're nomads because
they're African nomads. Yes.
They walk around.
They are moving.
Yeah, they are moving. But when they came to Central African Republic, they stayed and chased away the people that owns the land. And the people said, no, we aren't going to have this. So they fought. In fact, they killed the president of the Central African Republic, who is a Fulani. So they chased them. So they moved from there into Senegal. That's why you see some Fulanis in Senegal and partly of Gambia. And then from there to Niger Republic. So you see majority of them in Niger. When they came to Sokoto, the Emir of Sokoto was having problem with his subjects and he wanted to maintain power. So they said, okay, we're going to help you, but you have to take our type of Islam instead of yours. Most Hausas are Shiite Muslim. The Fulanis are Sunni Muslims, which is the same type that they have in Saudi Arabia. That's why if you notice, Saudi Arabia and Iran doesn't agree. Iran is Shiite Muslim. So once they come in there and help the Sultan of Sokoto, now they install their own type of Muslim. And then they got the Hausas to believe that the Sultan of Sokoto was cheating them. So they killed the Sultan and then they installed their own. And that's how you got the Caliphate in Sokoto. They did the same thing in Kwara. Kwara used to have all bars, but Kwara now has emirs. So that's what we have in there. That's one of the reasons for years.
Even Edo State, Auchi, the people that came also from Bauchi, the useless people there. Yes.
Even they were going straight to go to Ife, but they fought them back. Then in the north, they started moving. The only place they had a very big war was in Boronu.
And then, then Ibadan tried very well. Ibadan, they fought very well.
Yeah.
They fought them.
So what did they do? So the Nigerian government now came up, and you see how they play games. They said, okay, we fought a civil war. We don't want to hear anything about the civil war, so let's bury all those that and forget about it. So we're not going to teach history in school. So for how many years? 20 years, they have never taught history in any Nigerian school. So now we have a whole 2-3 generations of Nigerians that doesn't know anything about Nigerian history, not to talk about West African history or African history. So because
Oga, I got very important thing to tell you now, okay? So growing up, I was glued to Guardian newspaper. I was very lucky to have been reading the piece by BC Ogubadejo, on Sunday. You know him, sir. So you know that there was a piece that he did that because all my senior sisters, my cousin, my uncle, they will always buy newspaper for me so that when I come back from school, I have to go through them. So then there was a piece that he did, if you could remember, sir, about the North-South dialogue. Remember, that guy, they wear one kind of cartoonist cap,
Yeah.
He did predict that Nigeria is going to suffer from this movement of the proposed or the movement of capital from Lagos to the north. That he recommended that they should have moved it to Kaduna or Kano, an existing city, and that's exactly what we are suffering from today. And then you see the way you don't have to move a capital city with all those pretty industry like it's situated in Bar Beach, Lagos, all those stock exchange, the central bank. You go to Australia, go to America, their capital city is always separated from their central banks. The Northerners is, I don't know how to say it so that they don't say I'm too biased. I don't know. We are just suffering. Look at the whole roads in the south. Nothing's happening. But the whole roads in the north, on the other hand, they are looking like, European quality. And the Northerners are doing their farming with mechanized system. They are the ordinary man in a woman in Northerner. They are the one who are enjoying those roads. Go and look at our road. They need to Ibadan.
You see,
yes.
but you see, the problem is
let Oga answer, not be you.
We keep generalizing the whole North. I did census in 1973 in Maiduguri. That place that Obi went to in part of Boronu State, they call it Boronu now, but Maiduguri was in Maiduguri there. If you go to that place, there is no road, nothing, no water, nothing, period. Because the same type of thing that is happening in the South is happening in the North. But the problem there is we have this perception. If you look at the North, no Hausa man has ever been a governor of any state in the North except Kanu. That's why they keep, you see them attacking Kwakwanzo, except Kanu. The rest are Fulani governors. All of them. So the Hausas have been trying to fight that, but they have never been able to get support for that. Because we in the South all categorize all of them as the North. And then you remember, we were the one that gave them the name Hausa Fulani. It wasn't them. We gave them Hausa Fulani, and the Hausas didn't like it. Because the Hausas don't understand the Fulani language. But the Fulanese understands Hausa.
I get you, sir. I get you, sir. That is why that I'm just promoting
so the
a kind
problem
of
is
Southern Nigeria
they,
unite.
yeah,
Southern
they
Nigeria should
use
unite.
they use that thing to divide, and then the
And they rule and
Muslim
rule
thing
over us. Yes.
translated to the south.
Tony, calm down.
So what we now have is you have to understand the dynamics of what is happening in Nigeria to know how to attack it. And that's one thing Obi understands very well. He understands it very, very well. He was.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, sir. On top of the evening to you, I want to ask a question. Apart from the Hausas we have in Nigeria, we have an Hausa too in Ghana. In the northern part of Ghana, we have Hausa there, and they speak the same Hausa. So how come that those Hausa cannot unite to fight these Fulanis?
Well, you see, the thing there is what happened to us was Britain. During independence, because we keep saying we got independence, we did not negotiate independence. And when somebody is giving you something, you see, somebody has been ruling you for years and you say it's going to give you independence. Look at every country that Britain gave independence to. They are not doing very well today. America is doing very well is because America fought against Britain and totally went opposite of what Britain is doing. You see, America is not a democracy. America is a republic. You see how America elects their president? It's not by popular vote. It's by the Electoral College.
But that was the same thing we did in Nigeria.
Huh?
And that was the same thing we did in Nigeria.
No, that's not the same thing. Nigeria is popular vote. And then,
by the parties.
Yeah, by the parties. You have to get votes, 25% of the vote in 2/3 of the states.
So who made it so in Nigeria like that?
Huh?
Who made it so in Nigeria like that?
It was the Nigerian Constituent Assembly.
But sir, don't you think that it is the Nigerian politicians that created that for their own selves?
No, it was the Nigerian army. It was the Nigerian military.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah, you remember that? You remember that? What's his name? Abacha.
Abacha and Babangida.
Abdulsalami.
No, Abacha first wanted to perpetuate himself. You see, Abu Salami came in when Abacha died.
Yes.
You see, when Abacha died. So Abu Salami quickly rushed this. Do you know our constitution was not finished? They wasn't completed when they inaugurated Obasanjo as the president. Most people didn't know that. Our constitution was not completed. It was after he became president that they rushed it to him.
Okay, sir. So what is now the way forward in Nigeria now?
That's what I'm saying. Once the mandate is secured, then
are you sure? Are you sure that will work?
It will work. It will work. You see, because what has happened now, thank God, Obi decided to come out. And because he came out, a lot of our Nigerians has been educated on what is going on. If it was before, you see this thing we're having on Niger Watch, we won't be having it.
Yes.
People could have said, oh, forget about it. There's no point worrying about it. Let's just let it go. It's God's.
But sir, don't you think that Obi made a mistake when he's supposed to voice out on the day that the INEC chairman, made that announcement that 4 a.m. in the morning, Obi is supposed to voice out that very hour to create a national movement for every man and every woman that lives in Nigeria has to go to every INEC office and sit in their doorstep to make sure that that statement will be revived. But
Well,
Obi says no, that everyone should stand down.
No, he made a statement. He made a press conference. But the thing there is people wanted to go to the streets, and he doesn't.
That would be the best way.
It couldn't have been the best way.
Then people would have died.
Let me tell you why.
That's the wrong move.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
These people has already planned on how to rig the election. And they've planned, in fact, as at that time, in the whole of the Southeast, the Air Force was flying their plane all over the whole place. And people say they were practicing. They increased the military strength in Lagos. And then you go to a lot of the capital area. In Benin, they had a lot of military presence there. Now, what do you think those people are doing there? They said, oh, they are there for the vote and the election and all those things. Did any one of them do anything about the election? No. Because they expected that the obedient group would demonstrate, like they did on Sachs, on the Sachs issue. When they didn't see that demonstration, their strategy was foiled. They didn't know what else to do. That's when you notice that some of the APC people started turning to propaganda, because that plan did not work. You see? Because these people don't care about shedding blood. They do not care. You see?
A drug baron does not care.
You know, to me.
So it wasn't a mistake. It was a strategic move.
Okay.
It was a strategic move. And there were people in there, all those northerners that you see were all obedient. They were there. They were at that, this thing. You notice the warning they gave to what they call him? Male, the senator from Kogi State.
Yes.
Do you know right in that polling area, there were military people and police and everything. They could have arrested him that night because they were looking for something like that. But unfortunately, the obedient did not give them that luxury. So now they are confused. You see, you don't play into your enemy's hands. Because if you play into their hands, they already have the plan. You don't have the plan.
Okay, sir, one more quick question. Do you think that if Peter Obi, let's assume for instance that Peter Obi succeed to get back this mandate, can he be able to reset the country with the level of the corruption and the evil men control in that land? Because if you look at it right now, the political godfathers and the political leaders that we have in Nigeria, maybe in every state and in every region, about 75% of them they are just being criminal. They are criminals. They are evil. They are wicked. So can he succeed to reset that country without a fight?
Well, that's what he said. He said there's going to be a fight. He knows there's going to be a fight.
Not this kind of fight that is fighting now. I mean a violent one.
Do you know, one thing you have to know is that there are people, many people, that are going to work for Obi. That will work for him even without pay. They will be there. Do you know in all the military bases, except two, that Obi won more than 60% of the vote in all the military bases.
Yes, of course, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a statement. That's a statement.
That's a statement right there.
That's a statement, bro.
Because the military bases are the sample of the nation.
Yeah, see, sir, we know that. We know that very well. 90%.
So that's one thing. And the other thing I need to tell you, Obi in his private life support military families.
Okay.
His private life. I'm not talking about publicly. He doesn't say it publicly. It was the military themselves that were saying it.
Okay, sir. Sir, hold on, sir. You know, in Nigerian military right now, both the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army, and even police with the Civil Defense Corps, they have more Fulanis than every other tribes or every other race in Nigeria. And those people always listen to one command from their generals that are Fulanis like them. That is my big fear.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How many of them are paying less school fees for their children than any other group?
Okay, you know these guys are they don't care, but these guys, their mindset is different from you and I. You know, their mindset is different.
You see, that's why I said fear paralyzes people. Fear paralyzes people.
I don't think they are afraid. What I believe.
No, I'm not talking about afraid. We are the ones that get afraid. You see, we are the ones that get afraid. They are going to do this. They are going to do that. They are going to do this. They are going to do that.
Oga Ejina Ken. Good evening, sir. Maybe just leave them. They don't want to. They don't want to get the reality. Okay, so just leave them. So we just hope on on our ancestor, because everybody just try to be politically correct. They want to. So let them be politically correct and then be rotting away in abroad. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Tony, you are right, because that is one thing I was about to say. Because we are just talking, but we don't look at the psychology part of what we are saying. We are dealing with mafias that are
what then do you think should happen?
Brother, look at that example that he just made from Borno. Borno State is looking like like Berlin.
Hold on, Mr. Tony, hold on. So what Engineer Ken, to your question and everything that you've said, what then do you think is going? Where are you driving at?
You see, when you want to eat with the devil, you use a long spoon.
Peter B is not eating with them.
Listen to me. That is the thing. You are not getting it right. You have to be there, done that. What I'm saying and what Tony is saying, we know what we are saying. We are looking at the fantasy that this and that. But these guys, let me tell you something, Malamu, the INEC chairman, for the INEC chairman to make that call, that announcement on that day, do you think it was ordinary?
But if you
ask that man one-on-one,
if you really stand for Peter Obi, I don't think you should be sounding like this.
Let him speak. Let him speak.
Let me redirect you quickly. Hold on.
My friend.
Nigeria is a situation whereby the winner takes it all, and that is what we are trying to change.
Okay, you that is talking right now, I'm so glad that you are the one talking. I want to rephrase your memory. You remember about a couple of months ago, about 6-7 months ago, when we were talking about this election thing, when I told you that my fear is INEC, that INEC is compromised, INEC is going to ring it, that the device that they brought in, they're going to maneuver those devices. You antagonized me on that day. You said no, that those divide, nobody can touch it. Those divides
Yeah, okay, now now it has happened. Now it has happened. We are in court. What are you
Is it
saying
not
now?
what I said that place?
Forget those. That one.
No,
It
don't
has
say
happened.
forget.
Let's leave it.
Don't say forget. Don't say forget. When you say forget,
let me come
when you
in
say
here.
forget, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay,
Let me come in.
Engineer, let's address
Without
your
the
question.
past, there will not be a present.
Let's
We have
address
to
your
look at the
question.
reality.
Well, the
We've got that
reality
past
now is that everything is in the court, and we are watching
exactly.
Everything is in the court, but
Yeah.
our greatest fear is this. You know, those chief justice. Do you think that they will not be compromised? Because those chief justice are APC justice.
Don't preempt them. Just
They are not APC justice.
Who put them there?
The other one came from the other one came from Benue.
It doesn't matter where they came from, as long as they are from Nigeria.
They are from Nigeria. So what that means is that you can, if you're a judge and they put you there, that now you won't do right because the person who appointed you is APC. Remember?
Let me tell you something, sir.
Remember the lady in Abia. Remember the
way to do right there is two things.
No, remember the lady in Abia.
That one in Abia is just a state.
No, it's not a state. It was federal no, it wasn't the state that appointed that. It was the chairman of INEC that appointed that.
Okay. Sir, can I answer that question? Can I answer that? Can I answer that? Okay, sir. The chairman of INEC appointed her to be the chair lady of the chairman of Abia INEC or whatever. Okay, let me tell you something. You know, the person, the PDP guy who was the governor at that time, I strongly believe that guy was not desperate and that guy was not evil. You are talking about
who was not desperate?
Tinubu. Hold on, sir.
That guy provided money. What are you talking about?
It's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about, you have money and you are not desperate. You are not evil. You are not ready to sacrifice things to get the power that you want. You are not a power sick person. It's different thing. But the person in question right now is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is everything you can talk about human being. You know, he's that kind of person. He's demonic. He's a devilish person. He's a satanic person.
Do you know? Okay, Engineer Ken. Can Bola Tinubu influence you? Can Bola Tinubu
Gingerbread man,
influence
can you mute, please? Gingerbread man.
Let me answer that. To get it right, you will be willing to sacrifice. If you ask to take your life, you will give it up.
You don't have to take your life.
That is the point.
That's not the point.
That is the point.
That's the wrong point.
Everything doesn't have to take your life.
That is the fact. That is the fact.
That's not a fact.
Oh, man.
No, forget about it. That's not a fact.
You see, Ken, that's why you cannot stand, because you're worried about your life. Everything doesn't take your life.
Let's keep watching it. And let's see how the thing will be.
Then that means what you are saying now. That means you don't even believe in what we are doing here. That means you don't even have.
What do you mean? I don't believe it. We started this movement in Nigeria Watch. I strongly believe in labor, and I'm a supporter.
It's not how you started. It's how you ended.
Being
at the you are being discouraged.
Don't discourage Nigerians, please.
You have to face the fact. You have to check the fact. You have to see if
Tinubu bigger than Nigeria.
You have to do your defense.
You
talk the truth. You are doing defense. But these guys are doing defense every day by day.
Engineer Ken, you are sounding like a conquered man. Calm down. How can you come and be talking that Tinubu is
you not be conquered. It's just for you to be smart.
What smart
you have to be ready, because the people that you are dealing with, these people, they are more than devil.
Please let's lower it, please. I mean, don't put
so those are the things that you have to check, because you are not for Basajo to take his time and fly down to Russia to bring a lawyer from Russia.
Who told you that? Where did you see that?
That
Where did you see that?
Oh, you don't check your news?
That's which news carry him that say Obasanjo carry the Russian judge go Nigeria?
It's all over the internet.
Internet and the mainstream media didn't carry it in Nigeria.
I don't know about the mainstream media, but it's all over the internet.
All of this,
all over the internet. So if Obasanjo should do that, Obasanjo should send a letter outside Nigeria. He knows what he's doing because he knows that this fight is a very big fight. Because we are not looking at just a Tinubu. Tinubu deputy is the leader of Boko Haram. So all those men are ready to do anything to make sure that they seek for power. They get the power.
Nigerians too are ready. So don't put fear in people's mind, please.
Not fear.
The case is already in court. Let's just
ready with empty belly, with empty empty belly. Try to understand that these people, they have their political leaders of the past. Hold on, please, sir. Like we need to revert back to 1963 Constitution, and then otherwise we bring the country because as we are saying that the Northerners are going with Ahmadu Bello and Jeddah. We too have to go with Enahoro, Awolowo and Jeddah. Then the Southeasterners, they should talk to their one Nigeria also, which is Azikwe's philosophy. So that's it. So it's three countries. South with Southwest, one country. We believe in the Enahoro and the Awolowo's agenda. Then the Northerners believe in Ahmadu Bello's agenda. And then the Southeasterners, they believe in one Nigeria. They can even form a country with the Northerners. Thank you.
That's not what we are talking right now. There is this platform.
Yeah, how can you get solution there? How do you get solution? When some people are holding the country hostage?
This platform
whoever come in, they say they have to decide. Whether Jonathan come in, whether Ejinaket come in, whether man give us a mandate come in, they said they own it. And these people are very dangerous. So we don't share the same ideology. But we don't need a war.
Nigerians too are ready, so
ready.
Relax your mind. Ifeanyi, welcome. Welcome, Ifeanyi. Can we hear from you? Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi, are you there? Okay. Mr. Elvis, I guess you must have slept by now.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm listening to everybody.
Okay.
I think
you are there. You just kept quiet.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Good
I'm listening to you guys. I guess it's fine.
Are you there?
I'm fine, sir. I'm fine. Thank you.
So my brother, we that are fighting, supporting obedient movement and OB, we supposed to be right from scratch. Mr. Elvis right here can bear me a witness because all of us want to return back to our mother's land. And OB is that person that can do it. But meanwhile, as we are fighting, that doesn't make us a fool that we don't check our steps. We don't check back. So if you are a general in the army and you are leading the battalions of army to war, you have to look at if you are losing, what will be my defense? If I'm winning, what will be my defense? If my guys are getting tired and they're getting weak, how can I ginger them to fight more?
Hey, Engineer Ken, please let's focus on the law, on the court. We have case in the court, and the next few hours we have case in the court. That's what we should be talking about.
Yes,
exactly.
Everything is driving into that thing.
No.
My worry is this.
Let's focus on the court, please.
Yeah. My worry is this. We are praying that those judges should not be compromised like what
we know. It's already going well. We should stay positive.
So I pray so, and I want it so. I want it so. So that is why everyone has to bring their own idea, because the way I'm looking at it is different from the way you are looking at it. So now that makes us a unique human being. So we see things the same way. Along the line, we also drive into the same point to get it right.
One thing is the fact that me and you, I mean, you are in the United States, I'm also in the United States. The fact that me and you we are not on ground in Nigeria now, You don't know what Nigerians are doing. I mean, a young man calling earlier, that was why even extended this show to this time tonight.
Mm.
And the guy said there are some things I will not see online. I will not see online. We've had, I think maybe Mr. Hebis was even here, or it was myself and CM. The last time you left the channel late, there was one other guy that also called in. He said there are some things that are going underground, underground that I will not say anything online. So see, I don't. One thing is, you and I, we are abroad. Nigerians are home. Mr. Ebis, at least you showed one video yesterday where people are saying that this one is a do or die affair.
Yes, of course.
Nigerians.
Yes, of
So
course.
the fact that we are not there, we don't know what people are also saying that there are strategy going on underneath the ground. So one thing I want to understand is let's not speak from a place of fear.
No, this is not fear. This is not fear. Everyone is tired of these evil people. Everyone. So every Nigerian, I'm not there in Nigeria, but in Nigeria, I have families there. I have families there that live there. So if anything happens to my family, equally happens to me. So everyone, both the old, the young, everybody is fighting for Labour Party to come in. Everybody for Obi to come in. Because we all know that if Obi comes in, Nigeria it will work. And a lot of the institution will work. Because the institution have failed us already a long time ago. So someone like Obi can be the one to reset it. But our share is this. Those institutions, those leaders that are there are a product. 90% of them are a product of these evil people. Even being young, are product of these evil people. You know, so being a product, they're not going to go down easily.
Obi said it. Obi said that.
So whatever I'm saying today, hold on, my friend. Whatever I'm saying today, I'm not giving us a spirit of weakness. I'm letting us know that this is what we are fighting against. So we should be prepared. We should be strong. We should be tough. You know, like the owner of this platform, you know, the father is a very big guy in PDP. But he left his dad. He faced his own life. Do you think his dad is happy with him? No, because he's not his dad's party. The dad love him as a son, but when it comes to party level, oh my son, you disobey me. You know, but this man wants the country to work. Likewise myself, and likewise yourself too. So we have to let our people know that what we are standing against, they are big and tough. So we'll be ready. We should not be afraid. You know, so if we're just getting ready, you don't let them know what they are standing against. By the time that thing will shake, they will give up. But if you let them know that, listen, man, what you're standing against is tough, is strong, be bold. It's only the bold ones that will succeed. So they themselves will know that, yes, what we are standing against, we have to be bold. Look at what went down in Lagos State, you know, on their government election. Look at what took place. So people that witness that kind of a thing, they know already that it's going to be tough. And when that, about 2-3 weeks before then, on this same platform of ours, I speak out on that day. I told us, I said, listen, guys, when you're going to any of your polling unit, don't go alone. Keep your eyes up. Go with your friends. Don't walk in twos or threes. Walk in the crowd. Make sure that everybody knows yourself. If possible, protect yourself at all time. Mr. Ninja can bear me a witness. That was what I was hammering on that very period.
We all were here. We all were here saying that. I was here too.
Before it truly now took place, you know, it becomes a reality. So with that alone, if it can happen in Lagos, it will be played in all states around. And these guys, their money, the dirty money that they have is too much that they can buy anything. They can buy anything because there's hunger in the land. So people can do their beating. So we have to sanitize our people. We have to let them know that this is what we are fighting against. that they should be ready. So it's not pulling them down. It's not making them be afraid. We're making them being bold and tough. If you're an American citizen, America will tell you that you being an American citizen, you're on top of the world. Wherever you go, any country you go to, only choose American first. They will build you up. That's why you see any Americans when you're outside, they talk bold as if they own that land because of the way that they were taught right from the nursing school, right from anything that they do over here, right from their childhood. So let's be able to know that America comes first, So they build them to become strong and tough. So with that alone, that is what I'm saying. To get my people be ready of these people. This is not business as usual. Be ready, be tough, be vigilant. Definitely we're gonna get back this mandate. Either they like it or not, they're gonna give it up. But it won't get them easy.
Yeah,
That is just a fact.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, Miss Abib, it's just re-echoing what Peter Obi said. I mean, before this whole thing happened, Peter Obi said it, and we all know it that, if it was going to be easy, Mr. Obi should have been sleeping by now because ever since the presidential election happened on the 18th, we would have just been able to, would have entered house by now, maybe traveling, just and celebrating up until now. But because it's not ready, it's not easy, it's not going to be easy. It's like you are trying to take their feeding bottle from their mouth. Yeah, they've turned Nigeria to their feeding bottle. So you are trying to take away their feeding bottle. They're going to
more than feeding bottle.
Yeah, they're going to throw tantrums, and that's why part of the tantrum is that how can you have a case in the court and then you're asking somebody to go and represent you? That's
Thank
nonsense.
you. You should look at the psychology part of what just went down on that day. That means everybody there is under your fruit. You don't respect the Nigerian judiciary. You don't respect the country. Everybody there is under your foot. So for a man to act like that means there's something behind it.
There's something behind, and I know that even Delefarati said something. Somebody asked him a question when he was interviewing Aisha, when Aisha was interviewing him. He said, Uncle Dele, should in case that they didn't, maybe should in case, God forbid, that the mandate didn't come to Peter Obi, what do you think should happen? Dele said, let's not even think about that for now. He said something in Yoruba. He said, Ejola ako kato koja. That means you first learn how to narrate your story before you now talk about the act that you're going to take, the action you're going to take later on. And that's what Peter Obi is doing. When we won the mandate, they said, go to court if you are not pleased. Okay. Now we are in court. People are calling, even somebody calling to say, you guys should tell Peter Obi to withdraw the case. We said, why? He said, because some people have spoken. People have spoken does not mean that we have to withdraw the mandate now. That means something is touching them. Now, the case is in court. Let's all see how this whole thing goes. But I'm very sure with all that I have had and that I personally know and also have in my heart, some things are going underground. People will not just say more. But one thing is, this man called Tinubu should not think that he's bigger than Nigeria. And one thing is, when a man starts thinking that he's bigger than himself, that is the day that God begin to leave him. I was reading something yesterday in Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 8. He gets to a point. He said in that proverb, he said he was talking about how God himself even hates pride.
Yes, of course.
So
God
pride,
like pride. Yeah.
so fear, pride, and all of those wickedness. And I was just so it has gotten to that point for Tinubu because he just feel that he's bigger than the whole nation. How that's the highest level of impunity. You have a case in court, and you are sending someone to go and let's even think that Atiku is. We all know that Atiku is not even different from Tinubu, but Atiku humbled himself to still come to the courts.
Yeah, Atiku will be at least 20% better than Tinubu.
He still humbled himself to come to the court. and then you come on. That means if you become the president, you'll be ruling the country as a king.
That is it. If it comes to a president, not only ruling the country as a king, yeah, the country is going to be ruled by thugs, by
Mafians.
criminals. You know what this guy is doing. If this guy knows that you are a big thug or a big criminal from your state, he will put you in his payroll. He will put you in his payroll. Like Asari Tokumbo, when they arrested him in those days, what Tinubu went and took his family, bring them to Lagos. He was taking care of them, taking care of them. Why? Because he has a plan ahead.
Exactly, and that's what it does.
Ahead.
Yes,
so
that's what it does.
these are his plan. So almost every talks in every state are under this man's payroll and this man's budget. Almost all of them, if it's not 85%, all of them. And let me tell you something, my friend. If you look at the INEC chairman, if we have an opportunity to sit with him one-on-one and interview him on a closed door, this man will reveal some things and tell that it wasn't in his clear eyes for him to declare that result at 4 a.m. in the morning, midnight. So maybe that guy might be on a threat seat. They might threaten him. If you don't do this, we'll do this to your family. We'll do this to you. So the man has no choice than to give it up and say, listen, if you guys don't take it, you go to court. So the same thing can also be passed to these judges, except the ones that are ready to sacrifice anything. If they die, they die. If they lose their children, they lose their children. If they lose their wife, they lose their wife. As long as they want Nigeria to be great again. So that is my fear, because 85% of these people, of these leaders, they are evil. Being as a civilian, being in the military, being in the police, they're all evil, they're all satanic, they're all barbaric. 85% of them. So what can 15% do?
I mean, for me,
what can 15% do?
For me, I'm just sure that this is the end for them.
So I believe so, and that is what I want. My prayer is this: on that very day they are swearing in, let one young major or one young brigadier to just come out and just arrest all of them and take them in.
Let's not even think about swearing in for now. Let's think about the court case first before we
that is our prayers, and let the justice let them make things right. Let them make things right and put their names in a platter of gold. So I mean, it's just too much. It's just too much. The other day, I was just thinking about Tinubu and his court. So this guy has so much money that the bank can't even count his money. In everywhere he's making money. Water, river, sand, land, anywhere, the creek, anywhere. But it's not enough for him. At you're almost 90. You are not well. What do you still want again in life? The word that you have gotten is not enough for you. So it's so bad, my friend. So we should keep our finger crossed and we should keep our heads up. We should pray more for Nigeria and let Nigeria be good so that we can get back, we can get back our names. It's terrible. It's terrible. Thank you very much, guys. You guys are doing a very good work. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Elvis, I think it's time to go sleep. Let's let you go sleep.
You said what?
I said it's time to go sleep. Maybe we'll leave you to go and sleep.
Get some
sleep.
No, I don't.
Mr. Edigi, you did very well. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I don't know how we'll pay you, but I'll show you by grace of God. I mean that throne and will make you the internal affair, the chairman of internal affair.
Then Mr. Elvis,
thank you so much.
Yeah, so people are in the comment section. they are requesting for Mr. Lewis to come back. Mr. Lewis is always somebody you want to hear and hear and hear all over
Yes,
again.
yes,
So
yes.
Yes, Mr. Lewis will come next time. I think he needs to sleep now. So he spends so much. He spent a lot of hours with us here. So
I couldn't help him. I have to jump into the line. I heard him. I couldn't help it. You know, the man, he nailed everything. You know, open everything right from independence to the to date. You know, the man is, you know, he's a real political guru. You know, I really, really, I respect him.
okay. Thank you
Thank you
so
very much,
much,
Mr.
my
Nazareth.
people. Appreciate every one of you. Give us a mandate, my brother. I really appreciate you. Tony Africa, thank you. I guess you're already asleep anyway. Thank you, my people. Let's do it again.
No, another sleep. I greet you and I greet Oga Ejina Keno. Wabuta.
Okay. You leave Engineer Kemi, they talk, you not support him now. Now give us a
in
mandate.
they talk my way now, they talk correct. You know, it's not trying to be politically correct. It's telling the bitter truth, origo, bitter soup.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. It's been a long day. So let's the court, remember we have a hearing today. So yeah. Let's prepare for it because I'm gonna be live again the next couple of hours, hopefully, you know. So please stick with us, subscribe with us, keep the notification on in case I'm on air. You can join us and let's talk about the things that's affecting us. Fingers crossed, every one of us will smile, we will rejoice, and have our mandate back. Yes, by the special grace of God, we hope all the judges do the right thing. Allegedly, Tinubu is out of the country, but I could not confirm the certainty yet. But if he's out of the country, anyway, we'll analyze that better later on if I gather all my informations together. But let's see what happened in the court today. Thank you, my people. On the comment section, I can see Mother of All, Mommy Diaspora. Thank you very much, Mommy, for all you do for us. I appreciate you. Peggy Modi, thank you. Tony South, thank you. Rosemary Osas, I can see you. Tony South, once again. 4 Vectors, thank you very much. Tato, thank you. God bless you all. Blessing. Shukuka, God bless you all, my good people. All right, I think it's time for us to go right now. I cannot really acknowledge everybody. Give us a mandate, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for handling the platform. You know, thank you. I was here listening to everyone. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now, people. God bless you all.
You are the pillar that holds my life. You are the pillar that holds my life. Master Jesus, you are the pillar that holds my life. Lily of the valley, you are the pillar that holds